All right, well, welcome to It's Possible podcast. Today is an amazing day because I have with me Jennifer. We call her Jen. So, Jennifer, please take a minute, introduce yourself and tell the people what you have for them today.
Good morning. I'm Jen Hernandez. I'm in Northeast Pennsylvania, and I'm hoping to inspire and empower you with some facts that you may be able to start your own business or take some bigger steps forward than you thought. Hopefully, uncover some of those things that might be holding you back or maybe spark your interest. 20 years I was in the mortgage industry, and I
Mm-hmm.
would work 60 to 70 hours, and it was so much of where I was getting my self-worth, so much of where like I didn't realize until it was gone and I wasn't in it anymore how much of my identity was attached to my job. And
Mm.
I had a business outside of it that I loved, that was my nights and weekend passion project that was helping me live a healthier and happier life and more fulfilled life. However, that paycheck from my job really kind of lulled me into safe security. It made me think I was safe.
Mm.
And what happened is shortly after the pandemic, during the pandemic, mortgages blew up. We were working, I mean, I was working sometimes 1 in the morning, a loan officer and I were texting, and then I was on with the underwriter at 7 a.m. And it was just obscene hours. I lived in this room.
Mm.
My family was understanding because we were all at least in the house together. But it after that, my company was sold and I was a brand new employee as middle management who had spent 20 years earning bonuses and raises. And when we started having the downturn, they couldn't justify my salary. So they first cut my pay by 30%. And that
Wow.
was the first kind of panic. We had been living check to check, paying off a lot of mistakes that I made in my 20s and 30s. Uh,
Mm.
and so my husband, immediately after being a stay-at-home dad for 4 years, he went and got work. It changed our schedule all around. And that cut in my salary scared me so that I gave even more to my job. I gave even more to my employer to show them how much I was worth keeping. And March 2nd, 2023, they laid me off.
Mm.
It was so unexpected. I remember they did tell us a layoff was coming on a manager's meeting. And I remember the day before, I had several coworkers call, well, Jen, at least you're safe. You do so much. You do this for sales. You do this for our team. Like everybody loves you. You do so much. You're safe. And then the next day, the shoe fell. And I had been earning money through my side business that in fitness and health and sharing the things that help me evict 100 pounds and maintain a healthier lifestyle. And that had me denied for unemployment. So I was left in this place where I lost what I'm not even understanding as my identity and self-worth because I was no
Mm.
longer getting daily accolades from my job. And I lost, this income that was paying our mortgage and our bills and our, everything. And here I was with, $1,000 a month was amazing when it wasn't required, but it
Wow.
didn't pay the mortgage and the bills. And so
Wow.
I did get downsized or laid off, or I say ejected and released. But if I can share just another moment on it, is it's been the most amazing discovery because I think I realized as much as I was hopeful that one day I would help enough people in my business, I could give a month notice and leave mortgages and be a full-time entrepreneur. Knowing what I know now, I personally would have never made that choice. It was
Mm.
too much of my self-worth and my identity as being an employee and pleasing my sales team and pleasing everybody I worked with. I don't know what would have happened financially to make me actually leave other than being downsized.
Hmm.
So it's
Uh,
that thing that happened that had the most tears.
Gotcha. So let's go a little backward now because you shared a lot now. Let's go back to your job. So you were a loan officer.
No, I was in processing and processing management. So I
Okay.
supported the sales staff. I did all the background work. I was the person asking you for your bank statements, questioning you, and
Mm-hmm.
verifying your employment, working with appraisers, realtors, title companies, underwriting. I was the gopher. I called myself a desk DJ. I was like shuffling between all the different places to make the mortgage go through.
Oh, wow. So you know a lot about underwriting then.
I have not kept up to date with any changes the last year, but I definitely could prepare a file or prepare a new home buyer to be ready to get a house or
To get
to
it,
get
wow,
right.
that's really powerful. That's something we need to explore a little more. But
Oh,
yeah, that may be for the for future
okay.
interview, because yes, that's powerful. You know how many people are out there, they don't know where to start. They want to get a home, but they make so many mistakes in trying to get a home, and at the end they don't even get it, right? So if you come out and say, hey, this is what you need to do, you already know, you've been there. All
Just
right.
had a conversation like that last night. A friend called and said, "My brother's trying to get a mortgage, but he messed up his credit. What should I tell him?"
Wow.
Yeah.
So, okay, so from your job, you say your identity was so connected to your job, you would never think about leaving.
Looking back and how hard it was to actually accept the downsizing and move forward this last year, I didn't realize when I was in it.
Mm,
But it was the instant. So I was that person that was the last to leave, the first in, the one that you called nights or on the weekend, and I took the calls and I jumped online and I solved the problem, and I was always getting those attaboys. I was always getting those emails, um thanking me or praising me, or that happened so many times during the day that if I did my job well, and I always showed up and did my job well. If I did my job well, but nobody thanked me extra, I felt like I failed
mm.
because I didn't give myself the credit. Like, it had to be outstanding to be worthy.
Gotcha. So
And so
yes,
yeah, looking back at how my that was so attached and how my people pleasing and how everything was
mhm.
so locked in like that, I realized that if I wouldn't have been laid off, it would have taken a monumental change in my life for me to be aware of that and actually leave it.
Hmm.
It's like an
So
addiction.
my question is, did you enjoy that? Even though you did notice, but were you enjoying it as you were in it?
It definitely was enjoyable. I looked at the fact that I was helping people get in homes. I can't tell you how many first-time home buyers and customers I worked with that became
Mm-hmm.
friends, that became connection, that it just was so satisfying to help someone. Um, that too became part of why there were no boundaries. I think that was probably my first lesson out of it was my lack of boundaries that made it seem like I didn't respect myself. And
Mm.
that was a hard conversation I had. Someone said, like, "Yes, you gave way more than you should have. Did you ever think your lack of boundaries and lack of respect for yourself is why they let you go?"
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That was a hard thing to hear.
Yes.
That took me a couple months to truly process and say, I don't know that it would have changed the situation. I believe it was a financial decision, and even changing those things wouldn't have changed I wouldn't change it because of what I've learned and where I've been, but I don't think I could have changed it. I believe it was fully financial.
Mm-hmm. So what I'm trying to think about right now is, we had like a lot of us were a really good employee, and that's not bad. But you were doing a great job. So this is not bad. So, but in to the point where you feel so connected to the job that you gave more than what was required.
Right.
So is it a double-edged sword? Because yes, you're doing a great job. You're doing more than what is required. Is there any negative side of this? I don't know. I'm just asking.
I feel like it's a hard way to learn a lesson. I do feel like I learned the lesson that not having boundaries, it was a lot of the reasons my health needed to
Hmm.
get on track to lose 100 pounds, because I was putting job above everything. Job was above me. Um, I would prioritize that over everything. So I
Hmm.
2 or 3 meals takeout. I was not exercising on a regular. I was lucky if I worked out 2 or 3 times a month. There was a lot of unhealthy things that I was doing. I would be so exhausted when I would get home from work sometimes that I would just, walk in, and I remember being a newlywed and getting a blanket, coming home at like 10:30, 11 at night, and just sitting on the couch and watching TV, and like being so uncomfortable in my body and being so tired that I didn't even want my husband to touch me. Like I
Oh
was
wow.
on, there were unhealthy signs that it wasn't in a high vibe, keep me going all the time thing. Like
Hmm.
enjoyed what I did. I loved what I did. So much of what I did was also for fear of losing the income and not being able to provide. Um, I was originally a single mom until my son was 2.5. And so providing for him and then being a sole provider for a couple years, when we brought my husband home to minimize the cost of daycare and some other reasons we wanted him to work with our son instead of um, daycare. So that was a couple reasons why we made that choice. And just looking back, it wasn't healthy. It wasn't like I was excited and healthy and
Okay.
enjoying this.
That's where I wanted to get, because yes, it's good to be a good employee. You ain't gonna go to somebody's job and you're not doing what you're supposed to do. But when you do above and beyond, you go above and beyond, sometimes you will be lacking in something else, like you say, your health, even your husband, like your relationship was being affected by you putting your job on top of everything. So what we're trying to do here is help someone who is at a job right now that because of the fear of losing the job, they go above and beyond for what is required, which is not bad. Well, that's not what I'm saying. But when you balance your life, um, is there anything that you're not taken care of because of your job? Like you were saying, your relationship, your health, you were not exercising, which you need time for this. So that's why I understand work and life balance is really important. You need to be able to balance your life and your work to be good. You at your job, rumors were going around saying that people are being laid off. And some people said, man, you know, because you've been doing so much. So how did you feel?
I was nervous because of having had my salary cut. I knew I was on the higher end of being paid, and I knew that companies make financial decisions. That at some point I was still at a new company. My company was sold. We were at a new company. So I was still very much a number in an item
Mm,
line. And so I was still nervous, but it it didn't stop me. And yes, it was like to get those calls the day before, it did have me thinking I was fine, but I was nervous. It was interesting because the way they lay you off, you get a request to a Zoom meeting. Like,
mm-hmm.
there's a call in 10 minutes.
Wow.
That's That's not good. Call you in 10 minutes and they didn't text you or email you or plan it with you, that was a sign. And so when I got that notice, I was like, oh, okay.
Hmm.
Surprising. Like I knew what it meant. It was a very short call. I knew my computer and system would be turned off, so I spent like my last like 30 seconds messaging my team and my coworkers like, "Thank you so much for working with me. I've really appreciated it." I'm choked up just thinking about it.
Oh wow. So
Yeah.
man, I'm sorry to take you there. So
No,
um
I think emotions are a time that you're completely 100% honest. Like I don't want to lead by feelings and emotions because they aren't
yeah,
all, you know, the best advisors in moments, but
that's
I'm not
right.
turned off by emotions because I do think like if you can bring it in, if you can bring it in
Yeah.
of some of the beautiful things of life.
And that also tells me how connected you were to the job and to the people you worked with. Because by only thinking about it, that emotion that comes out, it's like you are right now in the moment,
Mhm.
writing the emails to the
Right.
people. Right? If it was a place that you did not enjoy, you didn't like, you would have a different emotion talking about it.
Yeah. Very true. Very true.
Yeah. So that's good. And again, we're talking to someone who really lost their job, and they're giving a lot of themselves to their job, but they're not taking care of themselves. And one thing that's really important, you said it was because of the fear of losing the income. Yeah, that's really powerful because you know how many people in their jobs right now, and they're really afraid of losing the job. What do
Mhm.
you think about that fear of losing a job? Talk a little more about that.
That is one of the biggest four-letter words, and even with all the work I've done on myself the last 7 years, that is still something that comes up to test us, and fear
Mm-hmm.
itself will limit your life.
Mm.
Fear of losing the job limited my life because it made the job the priority. So, whatever you're fearing, whether it's losing the job or losing the income or losing the relationship, whatever you fear is it's going to box you in and it's going to limit what you can see as an opportunity. So, I think truly taking some time and making a list of what sparks your joy. What makes you smile? What are things that you can talk about for hours on end? Who are the people that you know that own businesses? Who are the people that you know that went through a hard time? Take
Mm-hmm.
some time to actually consider if I lost my job. So, whatever the fear is, we're talking about the fear of losing a job.
Mm-hmm.
What I would love to do is to go back in time and have that Jen who started making those choices for fear of losing the job, if she could just unplug from the job and say, "Let's pretend I lost my job. What would I do?" And
Hmm.
make a list of all the choices. Well, I'm already earning $1,000 a month with my health business. I could maximize that. Well, I know several people in the online space. I could start helping them and charge them per hour. I know I could drive Uber or I could drive for Amazon deliveries. Like, make a list of everything that you could do in that circumstance. I could, maybe take a loan from a family member, or I could, like, make a list so that you see there are choices and options. It's not
Mm-hmm.
like end of the world when that happens, if it happens, and to kind of put that fear aside. It's not the end of the world. It's the end of a chapter. It's the end of part of the story. And as our own authors of our own life, getting to write that next chapter,
Mm-hmm.
having some ideas ahead of time, especially if it's a fear that's holding you back or you realize like, my hope is somebody listening realizes how that fear of losing a job is costing them their relationship, or is costing them their health, or is costing them something, that they do this.
Wow.
I can go back in time and do that for myself, but I can share with you and whoever this reaches, they can do that. And so I can pay it forward, right?
That's powerful. This is
That's my hope.
powerful. You say that whatever you have to do, if you have to Uber, if you have to, right, help somebody, man, you have a lot of options besides your job that you can do. Don't put yourself in the box. This is powerful. That's some motivation right there.
That fear will limit you if you let it. It is going to limit your life.
That's good. So your job, you now okay, let's go forward. You already had something you were making money with.
Mhm.
What was
Yeah.
that again?
So I'm a body partner, and I
Okay.
use their nutrition and fitness tools to evict 100 pounds. And it's been crucial and implemental in my life too, and my son's life as well. We work out together and we make healthy choices together, and just getting to share that and connect others earns an income. And so that was part of my income that I was already bringing in.
Hmm. So okay, what how much effort would it take you to maximize this, to make it bigger, or to make it replace your income at your job?
So I looked at the numbers, and it took me about 3.5 years to get to $1,000 a month personally.
Mm,
And that was, everybody's so different. Their path is so different. I tend to want to help people with their mindset and their habits and get them healthy, as opposed to talking to them about earning money with the opportunity. And so most of my connections and relationships in my business are people wanting to get healthy, not wanting to share and grow the business. It is a network marketing business. So it is a business that the higher incomes are earned by duplicating yourself and helping others get invested in paying it forward and sharing the opportunity. So I will say personally, last year, I cried for days. I
hmm.
was numbing, and by numbing, if you don't know what numbing is I would, find myself sitting on the couch till 3 in the morning watching Netflix, just detaching from everything, just feeling like I don't know who I am or what I do anymore.
Mm,
Is part of it is silly for me because I had something already that lit me up that I was doing. It I just didn't realize how much was attached to my job that I couldn't see it when I was in it. And so
hmm.
I would have loved to prepare ahead of time and come out and done some sort of, mass conversations and mass growth and grown that business. I ended up becoming more of, I needed that business to help keep me pushing forward healthy wise. It wasn't uh what I leaned into as far as growing and multiplying. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't feel strong enough to take that 1,000 to 4,000. I also was traumatized, is a hard word, too big of a word, but I was probably fearful. Fear was limiting me. I was fearful of having one thing be 80% of my income again.
Mm,
And so diversification became very important to me. I didn't want to grow my one business to a big number and have it all fall apart and be in the same position. And so I ended up diversifying, and still, like, very much I add people and grow and work my body business every month, every day. However, I also have other things that I do as a self-employed person now, and I think part of that was not wanting to have all my eggs in a basket again, not wanting to have that employer have that much control over my family's livelihood to where we could just lose 80% of our income in a day. So I think there's still some lessons there I'm working through. And so
Okay.
I'm willing to share it if hopefully that helps anyone. Like I said, I there's things that I have since uncovered and learned about myself that sure I wish I could have done them differently, but we can't go back in time. All I can
Yeah.
do, share it with you,
Let's move
and
forward.
hopefully this hits someone. I don't wish anybody to get laid off. I can just say there's a lot of great opportunity if you do, and hopefully some of these tips of things I wish I did will help empower you to do them. It's not something I ever prepared for. I spent 20 years getting raises and bonuses. I never had a year without a raise or a bonus. Like that is something I never prepared for, and so I wasn't prepared for it.
All right, Jen. So this is so powerful what you're sharing here. Now you as a you say body. What is the title again?
You may have heard it as Beachbody, but they've moved to Health Esteem, and Body, BODI, is a there's thousands of workouts, mindset, nutrition courses, recipes, and community that we all work together getting our fitness and our nutrition on point. Learning.
Okay. So do you work with them as a coach, or how do you do that?
My official term is partner, which is really kind of the best term for me because I love to partner up with someone. I love
Okay.
to hear what you're looking to do and say, "Oh, it would be great if you tackled this," and get to walk side by side as opposed to coaching.
So you said you lost 100 pounds.
Yes.
Wow.
Evicted it.
Evicted it. Okay, you evicted. Get out.
Oh, that'll be a book one day in itself. 20 years of yo-yo diets and binging and lots of food lessons there. That's a whole nother.
Okay. Wow. So that means you can help somebody evict some weight then, right?
Yes, I'd like to focus on what we can add in as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to what we're releasing. Really embracing getting that energy and adding in some healthy choices and habits. Some people I start to work with aren't able to work out yet. We start with walking and mindset and some
Mm.
nutrition that we add in. Some people are ready to go and tackle, weightlifting and things like that. So I get to connect people to the tools that help me, and there's thousands of options, right? It's like a dietitian and a nutritionist in your pocket, and then you get someone to bounce off it and support you along the way.
Oh wow, that's great.
It's fun. It's so
Yeah,
fun.
because many people out there trying to you say evict some weight, not
You
losing them.
think,
Why don't you lose weight?
oh, because you don't want to find it again.
Okay, okay.
It's lost, you wanna find again, you don't wanna find it, you wanna release it, and, like, that to be said, like, our I'm a perimenopause woman over 40, and, our bodies change and things change, so I'm in, like, a whole new journey myself again, and as far as, like, learning different changes I have to make, I need to add additional protein. It's amazing what you learn. So, yeah, I don't wanna to look for it again, so I like to say release.
Okay. So you didn't lose anything. You're not looking for it.
I'm
It's
not looking for it again.
yeah, of course, yes. Okay, eviction. And now just go. Don't come back.
Yes, yes. I actually started, actually referring to my downsizing as I was evicted from mortgage world. I don't wanna go back. If I can help you have a conversation, but I don't see myself going back.
Okay. So you say you diversify. You have several things you do to make money. So let's say someone is really afraid to leave their jobs, but they have skills, they have things they can do, but fear is holding them back. What would you tell them?
Oh, well, I would wanna first hear what their skills are and what they do and what brings them joy,
Hmm.
and hear about those things that they wanna do, and I would ask, like, what could happen if this went great? Like, what would happen if this went great, and how would that feel for your life? And also, I'd ask, what is the fear? What are you scared of losing or missing? If you can get down to I think I consider all my friends, but Brendan Bouchard, I don't know personally. He's just one of the mentors I get to read and learn from. He talks about fear being in four different realms. So he talks about
Mm-hmm.
it being like you're scared of that you're going to ruin your reputation. You start this business, you start this passion, this skill project, and what are people going to think? You're going to miss out on opportunities at work because they're going to see you're doing something extra. Or you're scared of being rejected. Rejection is the number two reason people want to be accepted and want to be
Mm.
recognized. And then some people are scared of success. Like, oh my gosh, what if I have uber success? How am I going to handle the responsibility? And so I'm just going to stay small or not take a chance because I
Mm.
handle it, and then, well, what if I try it and it doesn't go well? So then I'll regret even trying it. What if I love making jewelry and when I do it as a business, I lose that love, and I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
regret that I tried. And so I just will not try. And so ruin, rejection, responsibility, and regret are those four main reasons that people let fear hold them back.
Oh
And so I
wow.
would ask them, like, where is it that's holding you back? And then do that worst case scenario write out. Like, okay, so what happens if you do your jewelry business and you find you no longer love making jewelry because it's a business now? What can you do? Well, you can sell off what you did and go back to having it being a hobby. You don't have to keep the business going if it's not, a fit. Um, and I think the biggest thing is, I don't know where, oh, I did you share this yesterday? I don't know. Someone shared an amazing video, and it was like somehow we went from being experimental as kids. You go in the science room, you're experimenting, to we're no longer allowed to make mistakes or experiment as adults. We got to be perfect. And it's
Hmm.
like, release that idea that it's going to be perfect. I've actually told people the last 2 weeks, one of the first things I say to them is, you're going to fail and make mistakes.
Yeah.
Let's say that now. You're going to fail and make mistakes. And guess what? That's going to be some of your best lessons. And in that, you may uncover the greatest next step. So I would find out what they're passionate about, what they want to achieve, and see if I can't figure out what that fear is, to see what could we connect to get to that
Mm-hmm.
first next step, you know. That's, I think, what I would offer. Is that what you were looking for, or did I take us on a
That's
tangent?
powerful. Yes, that's good. So, fear of success. Would
Mhm.
somebody would ever be afraid of being successful?
How could you handle all the emails and calls? How are
Mm.
you gonna handle when social media starts sending you hate messages and the trolls come out?
Mm-hmm.
What are you gonna do if now you're working 80 hours a week for your business because there's so much coming and going on that now you don't spend time with your kids or your family?
That's
You know,
true.
what if earn $1 million and now everybody wants everything from you financially, and you're not didn't make enough to give it to all your family and pay all their houses. Like, you made a great income, but it's not enough for, what everybody's looking for. So you can be like, I don't want to have to make that decision of whose debt do I pay, or saying no to family or friends, or I'm not going to be able to handle the influx. And so it's first of all, I think that's a nugget of gold in there if you're willing to look at it, because if you're scared of those things happening, you believe you can do it. You believe you can
Mm.
succeed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lead with that. Let's lead with the fact that you believe you can earn $1 million and that's gonna destroy your life. Like, let's lead with the fact that you believe that, because I believe if you believe that, there is a way that you can do that. And guess what? When you get to other levels, you hire assistants, you hire a team, you get a coach, you get a financial coach, get a financial coach and a health coach and a life. Get all those coaches before, get all
Mm-hmm.
them.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get there, you're not the only one running that multi-million dollar business. You're not
That's
the only one
true.
making decisions. And you'll be able to have opportunities that you can share with those who are looking for handouts. And say, I would love to give you a handout and pay off your bills. I do have other responsibilities. I could meet you here, but here, this might be a better opportunity for you. You can earn it on your own. If I did it, why not you?
That's
Um,
powerful.
the
Yeah.
person
So,
is not that millionaire. You got a lot of learning and a lot of leveling up you do along the way. So the fear that today has, yes, I cannot be that successful person because I won't be. I'll be a whole new version of me. And
yeah.
I'm not saying to cut this version short. I love who I am and I love her so much I get to make her even better, right?
That's right. Wow, that's powerful. Yeah. So I mean,
Mm.
you're gonna be a different person by reaching that higher level.
Right.
So way more skills and different people around you. That yeah, that's powerful. Now, fear of rejection. Are people really afraid of being rejected? That's powerful.
I mean, I am, I think. I mean, y'all, are you? Maybe you got over that. I
Yeah,
feel
no, I mean, no, I'm just asking. That's true because a lot of people are not doing things is because of rejection, right? They don't want to approach other people. They don't want to talk to strangers or things like that. They always thinking what other people are thinking.
Mhm.
So, wow.
I even I mean, have you ever asked for a raise at your job? You know?
Yeah,
The fear of rejection. It can start as early as a youth. Did you ask everybody you wanted to date you? Probably not.
yeah.
Probably not, you know? I think that's one of the most powerful things that I keep hearing in my circle, and because I brought that up, I'm gonna share it, for who may need it or want it, but I'm a 44-year-old woman, and I am uncovering some thoughts and beliefs and patterns that I have been doing since I was a 14-year-old girl.
Hmm.
As a 44-year-old woman, I shouldn't be using a lot, maybe the base foundations of heart-led and belief and faith and things like that, but as far as, like, decisions of being accepted or caring what others think or spending time in those thought patterns, they get to evolve as we grow up. And so, kinda do just a gut check of when did we make a decision about rejection and acceptance and relationships, and are we living as 40, 50, 60-year olds, selves with the same fear of rejection when we were 14, 15?
May I drop the mic?
Yeah.
Yep. Wow,
Yeah.
that's woof. That's gold right there. Because yeah, some people like 40-year-old people are living their 10-year-old self,
Mhm.
their 14 or 15-year-old self. Wow. Yeah. No comment, right? So yeah.
You wanna be picked for kickball, you wanna be picked for softball, you want to be, included, and I get
Wow.
that, I get that.
So fear of what other people will say about you.
Mhm.
What did you call that fear again?
Well, fear of rejection, fear of like ruin, like responsibility, maybe. So it's ruin, rejection, responsibility, and regret. So I guess regret would come into, what if I
Yeah.
fail? What are people going to say about me? Or I guess ruin could too. I I think what I hear most often to challenge that thought is, do those people pay your bills?
Okay.
I think for me, whenever I have that question, I ask myself, like, before I make a post on social media, before I share something, I ask myself, is it true? Is it kind? Is it helpful?
Mm-hmm.
If it's true to me, if it's kind or and helpful, who cares if someone disagrees with me? I
Okay.
think we got to check our mindset and our motives. Like, why are we showing up to share or say what we're doing? If my motive is positive, I want to help you, I'm going to share it. There's a lot of the health industry itself has it's so multifaceted, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of emotion and energy attached to weight loss and a health journey. And there's a lot of um a lot of opportunity for someone to be upset about what you're sharing. Someone feel like you shouldn't use your body, talk about losing a number, you should accept yourself how you are. I am 100% for body positivity. I am 100% for embracing who you are. I care less. People who work with me will tell you I care less about the number on the scale. I care more about how is your mobility? How are you feeling? I
Mm-hmm.
actually it's funny that I've found the way to start the conversation is by sharing my weight loss number. And but that's what I want to talk about the least once we're in our conversations, because that number doesn't matter. If you don't know the how and you don't identify the emotions and don't make the changes, and there's so many things in there that that number doesn't matter. That number doesn't define you. And it
Mm-hmm.
takes like 2 weeks to build a muscle. A muscle cell, it takes like 2 weeks to build a fat cell. So having a number identifies so many things is not really helpful. But there's a lot of attacks that can go back and forth either way. There are, you shouldn't tell people you lost weight, you shouldn't make comments about people's weight, you shouldn't share before and after pictures. You shouldn't shame people because they're interpreting that as like a shame. So I think being worried what others are going to think could hold people back from that. And I also know being willing to share those has helped other people. Like being willing to start that conversation has helped other people. And my intent behind my shares is not to shame you for your weight. I'm still considered a larger woman. I'm not a petite, ripped trainer style person. So I still can get messages that I shouldn't be putting things out, but I know my motives and my mindset behind it is to inspire, empower, and support someone to take one next step, because that is what it is. We can get anywhere in the universe an inch at a time. 1 inch at a time, you can get to the moon. Now, I'm not saying you can physically go to the moon. However, I mean, like as a measurement. So if
Yeah.
you can get one step, just one more step, and I could inspire, encourage, or support that, I'm willing to share. And I know that's my motives and my intent behind it. I know that's my heart behind it. Whereas you can be attacked for it sometimes, or you can be in circles and see other people sharing the exact opposite that you shouldn't,
That's good.
you know.
Now, you know how many people are they want to start something, let's say a business or whatever, but they are afraid about what other people will say, or their family may say something, their friends, their church members may say something. Right? So
Mhm.
they're afraid of that, of what other people are thinking, and because of that, they don't start what they wanted to start. So
Yeah.
that's really powerful. And sometimes the fear is there, but the person does not even know if they have the fear. They don't have a name for it. Now that you came out with the name, they may analyze themselves to say, "Oh, this is what's going on with me." That's powerful. That's good.
The world's
So
missing
how? Go ahead.
the world's missing your light. If you have a calling on you or something that you want to share and you keep your mouth closed, you're keeping that light in. The world needs that light.
Oh wow,
Somebody,
yeah.
like that was one thing that lets me share is I needed someone's story. I needed someone like that for me
Mm-hmm.
story. So let your light out. Let your light out.
Yeah, let it out. Yes.
Nowadays, I've got some solutions for you if you're not ready to be public.
All right. So how do you help people?
I like to think I'm an an inspiration instigator.
Okay,
That
okay.
I, I like to be able to inspire and then empower you. And so I get to connect people to a couple different options, primarily in the wellness umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like right now, digital marketing is something that's a really great place to start, get an education. So I do use some digital marketing courses to help people get the foundation for their business. They can learn about the systems and the email marketing and learn about the things they need to know and get in place so that they can service their customers in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Even the courses I have even help you identify who is your niche, who is your customer that you want to help, what is your business.
Mm-hmm.
And those are some things that you can do behind the scenes if you're willing to be a student, be willing to be a beginner and be a student again, and learn. And you can actually, like you shared some people that, what if the church or the family says anything? There's actually things you learn in my course that will help you start a faceless business, or start an Instagram page and block all the family and friends until you feel comfortable. I feel like the only way to get that confidence is through action. You are not going to feel confident and then get up and do it. You are going to
Mm-hmm.
learn something new and start making progress. And those two feelings are amazing and only happen when you challenge yourself and are willing to learn something new. And you're going to
Wow.
get those good feelings, and that is going to give you the confidence. So you got to take action. So you got to take action, whether it's learning. So I'm able to start people with the learning, with the backbone of their business. My body business is, I like the way that sounded. My body business. If you love health and fitness, or you need to improve your health and fitness, partnering with me and going through the courses, going to give you progress, going to give you that confidence that you're not going to be able to keep it inside. You're going to want to share it. You're going to want other people to feel like you. So that's another way that I help people. So between some digital marketing courses, you can go to theladybugeffect.com, or I prefer, visit me on Instagram. And I do share different things and would love to have a conversation there. I also found, in my summer of pulling myself out this last year, I shared that it hit me really hard, being ejected. I also found a anti-aging skin serum that I really love using. It's made out of only plants. And I found that, like, telling myself I love myself twice a day, actually like washing my face and putting on a serum and giving myself some self-care and self-love, was really helpful. I'm going to get very vulnerable and say that when I caught myself self-soothing and I was watching Netflix till 3 in the morning and doing whatever I could to get ends meet during the day, I missed brushing my teeth for days.
Mhm.
Basic necessity of health habits dropped away because I was feeling so I guess unworthy, and like I just was
Mm.
in such this low place. And when I tried the face serum and I started using that, well, I had to brush my teeth. You got to brush your teeth before you do your face wash.
Yes.
All of a sudden I started like getting that pouring back into myself and realizing, bro, you're doing your workouts every day. You're supporting people everywhere. Like why are you hiding here? Get going. Get out. Get
Hmm.
going. And so I feel like passionate about sharing. I love having something that's not going to harm the environment or myself, using it. There's so many chemicals and junk in so many of our products. It's really disheartening. That is another whole long topic that I could
Okay,
talk.
okay.
But so the main, and then also like having a healthier lifestyle with my family, I also partnered with a company that does healthy food for cats and dogs. That's
Okay.
So those different modalities and some of my support services helping people online, is how I've been able to earn and go from $1,000 a month to just over $1,000 a week. And then I've been able
Wow.
to thrive and celebrate. March 2nd, 2024, I celebrated a year of making it work and figuring it out. And here, I'm here.
Congratulations. Yes, because from $1,000 a month to $1,000 a week, doing it on your own, sustaining yourself and your family, it's good. It's great progress. And when you use that, the thing is that as you grow, it compounds. It's like compound interest. It compounds. The thing that you're doing in a week right now is something you may start doing in one day, because you understand the process, you know how it works. It's just putting other things together and tweaking, and it can happen in one day or even an hour, because it's only understanding. That's really powerful. And I believe that will motivate someone to start something they wanted to start, because there is no fear. All right, so just go ahead and start doing it. Well, Jen, this is good. This is good. Now, you sustain yourself with your business. How does it feel, compared to having a job?
Woo! I have not been asked that question, and hearing that question, it just feels more whole. I just feel more whole, and I don't know if that'll resonate exactly, but it's more fulfilling.
Okay.
I'm making the choices. I don't love everything that I need to do for every business or contract work that I do. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna definitely be taking that away, and that'll be my next journaling, because
Okay.
I think more fulfilled and more whole. More
All
fulfilled and
right.
more whole.
That's powerful. Again, we're not discouraging someone who has a job to go ahead and quit their job or whatever. It's
Right.
just that we're trying to help someone who's afraid of starting something, right? They want to do something, they want to start a business, but because of fear, they're not doing it. So that's why we are talking about this right now. So, but wow, what you have shared with us, Jen, is really really good, really powerful. And when you were vulnerable enough to share about you sitting down watching Netflix all night long, and that shows me it's not only you.
Mhm.
If you do something, it's because million other people are doing the same thing. They're in the same position, same situation. So you're gonna help a lot of people, Jen.
Thank you. That to me, if I could, like I said, pay those forward, that's a warning sign. It's nothing to feel ashamed about. It's nothing to feel
Yeah.
bad. Recognizing it, having something inside of you that you want more, those are all signs to go for it. Those are all signs that you
Mm.
have a spark in you. I believe that our greatest challenges are our gift. Our biggest challenges in our life are our gift we're meant to give to this world if we are
Mm.
willing to work through it and then share so that we can ripple that forward to the next generations. Like there's sometimes I tell some stories about my 18 or 20 or 30-year-old self, and I'm like, gosh, I wish I could have come across a video like this when I was 18 and when I was 20. So you're meant to give that out. That's a light in you, and it just wants to get out and spread. And yes, it's scary. Yes, it's challenging. But it's also amazing. It's also amazing.
Powerful. So here is Jane as proof that you can do it. Well, any other last word you would like to share with the people, Jen, today?
I feel compelled to say that one is more than none. And so, like, I think so often we as adults get stuck in that perfectionism. It's got to be all or nothing. It's got to be everything. And
Mm.
one is more than none. That one will add up. And I would just open anybody to a conversation. Visit me on my Instagram, the period lady period bug period effect, the ladybug effect, and let's embrace change together. And I'd love a conversation, even if you don't partner with me. I'm pretty confident that you look at our group where we connected. We have lots of different abilities to connect you to someone that could help you take that one next step for you.
Powerful. Yes, please send me a link so I can have your Instagram. If you have any other links you want to have under the video so that people can stay connected with you. All right, so excellent. Well, everybody, thank you very much for watching the video today. It was amazing talking to Jen. Get some inspiration and motivation from this so that you can go out there and be amazing and do amazing things. All right, thank you and have a wonderful day.